Greetings everybody, my name is Tommy the Game Master, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the dullest games I have in my NES game collection when I was a kid. That game would be Yoshi. Now it's not a bad game as in terrible or broken. Spider-Man and the Senator 6, this game is not. But it is boring. Extremely boring. You see, kids, 30 years ago, a little gem called Mario World came out, and it introduced a new character into the Mario canon, Yoshi. And the little guy was on fire during the 16-bit era, getting his own games and a life of his own. And he's still an important enough character nowadays, but man, the amount of spin-offs that came out in just a short amount of time in the 90s. You had Yoshi's Cookies, Yoshi's Island, Yoshi's Safari, and of course this game, Yoshi. Nintendo released this dud a few months after Mario World on the NES and Game Boy. I guess they wanted to get the character onto their other systems that they had at the time. So what's wrong with this game? Well, nothing really. It functions how it's supposed to. It's just not a very good puzzle game by its very design. Let's talk about Yoshi. I guess there's some side stories in manga saying this happens at a pizza restaurant Mario owns, hence the plates he's moving. But beyond that, there isn't any kind of narrative. The closest thing is in Type B mode, you see him running Yoshi around and eating things in graphics that look pretty good for NES standards. Anyways, enough with the narrative. Let's get down to what is wrong with the game. Let's talk about the gameplay. So, what is the problem with this game? Well, its premise is bare bones for a puzzle game. It's almost something you feel like should be in a free-to-play mobile game. Basically, you take Mario at the bottom and move him around and have him flip one of 4 trays as enemy sprites that are ripped right out of Super Mario Bros. 3, for the most part, descend downwards. The idea to clear them out is pretty simple. Have one type of enemy land on top of its similar type. Basically, Boo upon Boo and Goomba upon Goomba. Yes, you heard me correct. It's not 3 of a kind or needing a gem or doing things diagonally. You just have one enemy land on top of another similar enemy and it clears out. And just take a look how slow this goes. Heck, it's possible to clear an enemy off the top of one column and switch that column in time to grab the second enemy falling if you're fast enough. Making this game really not that much of a challenge. The only hitch are the Yoshi eggs. Yeah, 2 bottom Yoshi eggs will cancel each other out, but the idea is to stack a bottom egg at the very bottom and then stack them sky high, and then when you're at the top, get a top shell and watch the whole thing collapse and have a Yoshi appear to give you bonus points. And yes, gang, that's pretty much the whole game. You got 2 modes to play. Type A is your typical survival mode as long as you can, which can go on for a very long time. The only time I die in A is because I'm either A, bored and about to conk out and go to sleep, or B, I get greedy trying to get a full Yoshi and then not watch what I'm doing. Other than that, Type A is pretty cinch. Type B is a bit harder, but for the wrong reasons. In this one, you have to clear out the whole screen. Sounds easy, right? Well, yes and no. It really depends more on your luck than skill, hoping that you get the right combination to come down in order to complete the game. Your reward are these little animations where you see Mario ride with Yoshi and he eats something. It's impressive graphics, I guess, for the time on the NES, but that's not much of a reward for something that can be a tedious headache and can go on for 15 or 20 minutes just hoping you get the right monsters to appear. So yeah, like others that are simple to pick up and have some complexity like chain combos or lengthy patterns to really pick up the score and attack the other player, the only challenge is playing chicken using the Yoshi eggs on Type A, and it gets dull really fast. Let's talk about the graphics, and well, if you can't tell by now, they're kind of basics. points towards the Yoshi sprite and the Mario sprite being a little bit more detailed than your average NES game, but everything else is bare bones. The background's kind of plain. The Goomba, the Boo, and the Bloober are recycled assets right from Super Mario Bros. 3, and the Piranha is redrawn from the Super Nintendo sprite. It's as basic as you can get. The only time it feels like there was some work done when it comes to the graphics are the short cutscenes in the B-type mode. Other than that, the graphics are kind of just dull and plain. Not that a lot of graphics in these puzzle games ever really stood out, mind you, on the NES, but this one's really plain. The soundtrack is a bit repetitive and not very good. I do like the star-type sound, although I didn't record much of it. It does sound almost like a certain game series that is far better than this game, but I'm pretty sure it's just a coincidence. The rest of them are kind of just nothing to write home about. This game is not by any means the worst NES game ever made. It's just one of the dullest. It's on the Switch Online, and it's a perfect place for it. I don't ever recommend spending any money on this game, but if you got 15 minutes that you have to kill, it's worth checking out at least once just to see what it is. But a game this boring could not have been made by Nintendo internally. Oh yes, it's made by some company called Gamefreak, and this Satoshi guy that directed it, I'm pretty sure he only enjoyed some mild success after this and was never attached to any Nintendo IP or done anything successful, and I'm pretty sure the Gamefreak company went under if this is the crap they mean. I'm pretty sure they never released anything successful. Ooh. Well, unfortunately, next time I won't be looking at Fire Red. God, I wish I was playing that game, because that's an actually good remake of a Pokemon game. I'm going to be taking a look at Shining Pearl, a bad example of a remake of a Pokemon game. In the meantime, drop this video a like, and leave a comment below. It's weird how a bore of an NES and SNES game helped fund what became one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world, even dwarfing Mario in success.